and when you hand them candy, oh my heavens. And
So you had
You had
trick or treaters?
trick-or-treaters?
we had trick or treaters.
That's awesome.
In Oak Brook, yeah. So we-
Oh,
Reindeer must they have had?
Well, they came later. It wasn't, not a lot of rain. I mean, maybe a little mist, but they were all excited. It was Halloween.
Yeah. They don't care. They don't care about the rain.
No,
Not at all.
It doesn't rain in Oak Brook.
Exactly.
Emily, what about you with Poppy?
Oh, yes, we were out and about. We went to a friend's house and she wanted to be Ariel from The Little Mermaid, but not traditional Ariel. She wanted to be pink and purple. So she ended up just looking like a drag queen. Not Ariel at all, but I was Ursula and then my husband was Prince Eric.
Oh, that's so cool.
So yeah, around, but yeah, it was a great time. All of her little friends, we all like hung out at somebody's house. We did the loop and then all the kids went wild and we all had fun.
That's awesome. There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was in.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah, it was fun.
What
Oh,
about
that's cute.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We decorated at least, I put some decorations up and then, my husband's like, well, if somebody comes to the door, can you get it? Cause I'm kind of tired. I'm like, why would somebody be coming to the door? And he's like, cause it's Halloween. And so we did have some trick or treaters and I had a ton of candy. I kept saying,
Oh,
"No,
that's
take some
cute.
more, take some more. All you want.
Love
I know.
it. Yeah, that's your Christmas card right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the thing kept going. Oh, yeah.
I remember.
Oh, she did.
Oh, the walk the dog. To the grocery store.
All right, Nancy.
Uh,
Look at me.
my husband and I went to Portland for the night for a concert, so we were down.
Oh, well, that's fun.
in Portland. It's a band called Floater. They've been around since the 90s, so we go quite often to see them. So yeah, it was really fun.
Sylvie's not seeing the Zoom link for the meeting.
At Crystal Ball,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so we stayed at Crystal's house.
Seeing the link that was in your email, right?
Oh, there's a big connection.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
She had a lot of stuff.
She looks very excited.
Oh.
Here.
And you emailed the agenda.
What'd you guys do for Halloween?
I went,
Anything fun?
I went trick or treating with my friends.
Awesome.
Hi. What'd you dress up as?
Sitting next to me. I was watching.
Cucumber.
Cucumber.
I said, I hate
What about you?
I did
I'm a
some
one
cookies
phone.
with my sister.
Oh, fun. What kind of cookies did you make?
Yeah.
We made like
That's my daughter,
chocolate
my
chip
granddaughter.
cookies
Ooh, was that to give out or just?
How fast?
just to eat.
Oh, you're making me hungry, girls.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
Cute.
I carved a pumpkin.
Oh, good for you. Did you bake the pumpkin seeds and everything too? Oh, wow. Okay, you guys, aspirations. I love it.
Shauna, you're the, like, I imagine you're the costume queen, so.
Yeah, so my costume I did for Lake World Gardens. I volunteered at their Dr. Moreau event. So I got to dress up the 2 weekends before Halloween. That was my celebration. And then Friday, we just entertained opening the door just a few times for groups of trick-or-treaters.
Oh, fun. Hey, Edie. Did you dress up for Halloween? Oh,
Yeah, I took the kids and I, we went trick or treating. I was a oh, now I've forgotten the name of this fish. The fish that lives at the bottom of the ocean with the little light.
Oh,
Anglerfish. I was an anglerfish.
oh, how cute.
It was very
Were-
appropriate. It was very wet.
Were your
outside.
kids fish as well? Were you a school of fish?
We had one, my youngest was a fish, and then I had a princess and a bowl of cake batter. Quite a range.
That's epic.
Okay, so Kellis is teaching Lonnie and Heidi and Nikki.
We didn't have any Halloween havocs.
I have three daughters. One is 20 and my twins are 17, and I can't share pictures of what they dress as for Halloween. Between the three of them, they use less fabric than I am wearing. I don't know how they deal with the weather. Scary.
That's so funny. The teenagers, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the theme, right?
What did you do?
What did you do?
I went out and had a hamburger because I don't get trick or treaters.
Oh, you have a long driveway. Lonnie has a long.
All the adults dressed up, and that was kind of fun.
Well, for the first time was visiting friends in Newport Beach, so we were on Balboa Island, and it is not raining, and there were probably 2,000
Oh, wow.
people, and we were like,
Wow.
you do not have to work for candy there. It's just the houses are cramped side by side by side, but they are decked out.
Oh, I love
And I mean, all the adults are decked out. It was so cool. So that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, that's fun.
I was there in 1960.
Yeah.
It may have changed.
Hi, Sylvia. I'm glad you got on. Sorry about that. We're talking about what people did for Halloween. What did you do? Did your grandson, did you have him? Oh, you're muted.
No, I was inadvertently in the middle of Halloween over at Proctor. So
Oh,
I didn't mean to be, but it was kind of fun because all the people came out with their kids and they closed out the road, and it was pretty amazing. There were a lot of
oh,
costumes.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, good job.
So that was
Awesome.
fun.
Awesome. Okay, let's start the meeting.
All right. Well, welcome, everybody. We'll call this meeting to order. And do I have approval or do I have a motion to approve the minutes from October 6th? Had a chance to read those over.
I was in attendance at our last meeting.
Right?
That would be the only.
Good catch.
That
That was a
adjustment?
catch.
Yeah.
You're just so quiet. There. I want credit for that. And then, yes, I will motion to approve. Meeting minutes.
Donna?
Can I second that?
Thank you, Earl. Motion has passed. All right, so first order of new business tonight, Heidi Watcher, for the Open Public Meets Act update.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you for your service to the city as volunteers. It's extra time that you may all find yourself enjoying it and everything, but it's truly work and it's really beneficial to the city that you all volunteer. I know that this particular group is a source of great pride to the city council. They really feel good about the arts in our city. They feel like they have resources when they're starting to talk about what to do with roundabouts in the city or how to bring people into City Hall and enjoy the arts. So for that, thank you so much. I have been going around to some of the different boards and commissions, just trying to make sure that we update people on what's going on with both open public meetings and public records, just because we live in a time when sometimes people decide to pick something with any given group, and I just like to make sure that everybody's well educated as to how things work. I know, for example, sometimes you think, well, the members of the public aren't really coming to watch what we do anyway. Well, they don't have to in order to trigger the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act. And just about all of your meetings are pretty perfect. You put out notice, you're taking minutes. They are open to the public, which is all exactly the way we would want it to be. About 4 or 5 months ago, I had a body that wasn't able to make the Zoom access work. We literally canceled the meeting and had to reschedule it at a time when the public could be there for it. And I will tell you, as recently as this morning, I got a call from our deputy city manager. The auditor is now looking into our compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. It's not because we've done anything wrong. They just want to make sure that we're really following through on everything. And one of the things they will look at, they will see in your minutes, for example, that you had a training tonight on open public meetings, even if it wasn't lengthy. They will see that we care about that and that we're communicating that to people. One of the parts that's a little bit tricky with a body like this is that there are times when you operate in a way that would not put you at any issue with the Open Public Meetings Act. It might not even apply. But there are other times when, because of what the city council has asked of you, it would apply. And so our policy has always been, we're just applying it to everybody and we're calling it good. And for the most part, we haven't had any real issues. We did have to get creative. And I want you to envision the creativity of your group versus the creativity of the legal department. We're not a super creative group. We kind of like our little groove. We're a lot like accountants or something like that. And so I really appreciated Sally in particular working to make sure that she can try and offer the best retreat that you can have. Go see some interesting things, have a little more of a casual back and forth so that you can build a really good program, but not run into any kind of issues with the Open Public Meetings Act. So that's most of what I wanted to cover with you. Your regular meetings haven't been a problem. You're really good about communicating when you're going to do something creative. We do get questions about Open Public Meetings Act compliance. They haven't been with you guys so much. The one question I do get from boards and commissions from time to time, and I do think it happened with the Arts Commission many years ago, every once in a while, someone will get very excited about your group and they want to come in and be with you and be one of you and all of that. They're absolutely welcome to come and watch your meetings, but unless and until they are properly appointed, they are not part of your meeting. They can watch it. They're not free to just participate in the conversation unless you've agendized them and recognized them. If you ever have an issue like that, let us know. We are more than happy to come in and kind of set things straight, especially in a room like this. It looks so welcoming. Every once in a while, somebody will kind of tiptoe over the line, but you truly became something different and special for the city when you were appointed. And you were appointed because you were viewed as people who had thoughtful insights that would help the city in the arts area. So that's really the only issue we've ever run into otherwise. And I am going around to a number of different boards and commissions, just trying to keep things fresh. And we're also going to our different departments with quarterly trainings on this, because that will help us later. If there's an accusation or something, you can say, look, we are on the record as doing this. I'd be happy to try and answer any questions you might have. I would also be happy to take my leave. Either way.
I have a question. So we'll have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
The first is, should someone come to our retreat or the meeting and then start interjecting, what is the most appropriate response where it's tactful?
The tactful way to handle that would be, it would obviously depend on the person. If you kind of see it coming, you might want to ask if the security person can be somewhere proximate, you know, just because their mere presence will help a little bit. What you might want to do is just remind the person that this is a meeting of this body and that you are on a specific spot on the agenda and you have to be recognized by the chair in order to speak. And that's a tough spot for the chair. You all need to support your chair and be like, yeah, we're not going to, every once in a while, you'll get somebody who means well, but they say, no, I want to hear what this guy has to say. Do not do that. Support your chair, let the chair stick to the agenda and go to the next item. That's the way I would handle it. Now, if they keep interjecting, regardless of the fact that you've said, this isn't part of our agenda, you're out of order, and you can welcome them to stay and observe what the group is doing. They're also welcome to make public input at a city council meeting during the public input time. They're welcome to send messages to the city in the form of email. There's lots of ways that they can have input that don't involve disrupting your meeting. So you can say any of those things. But then if they get a little more out of line, what you may want to do is get the security person, who, as I understand it, there is somebody who works there, and just say that this person is being disruptive. If you decide the person has to be removed from the meeting, what you are going to want to do is say that to the person, say you are disrupting the meeting of this group. And if you can't honor our request to let us run our meeting, we would have to have you removed. What you're going to want is in the afterplay. If you've ever had to have somebody removed from a public meeting, there's the distinct possibility that people later will wonder why you couldn't just put up with this person. And so they're going to look at exactly what you did, and where you want somebody looking at it to be is you want them to say, well, what else could that group have done? They did everything they could to make this work, and it was the person intervening who was really the problem. Because most of the time at the beginning of something like that, the public tends to view the intervenor as the David to you being Goliath. And I know you don't necessarily see yourselves that way, but that's how it's looked at later. And you want to be able to say, no, this wasn't really so much David and Goliath. This was a group of volunteers for the city who put in a lot of time and effort, and a person who was really derailing the meeting. So sorry, I'm not being over there.
Thank you. That answers that question. And then I just thought it would be wise to debrief the commission on what we're doing for the retreat to follow the rules.
Yes.
And you and I had that discussion. You
Yes.
were really helpful.
Yes.
So I would like them to hear.
So the way that this city operates is that what you're doing with your retreat legally meets the definition of a special meeting. At a special meeting, you adhere to what is on the agenda. You should not be bringing in other regular business. So an agenda will go out in adequate time. It only has to be 24 hours in advance. It will indicate where the meeting is, when the meeting is, all of the things, and how somebody could access the meeting remotely. The law on remote coming into a meeting is another challenging piece of our world. Essentially, the law says we don't have to provide remote access. And then it says if any member of the public happens to need remote access in order to attend, we then have to provide it. We have no idea who's coming. So we just automatically provide it. And that's in keeping with what most cities do. So Sally has made sure that all of that's available. The concern is that when you're in a different place, like I can tell you on Monday nights, pretty much who's going to show up for city council meetings. And we do have a police officer there who works off duty. He's never had to do anything, but he's there. I can't tell you. And I think that's part of Sally's concern is we don't know who's going to show up when you're at the Glass Museum in downtown Tacoma. There is a security person there. She's worked with that person. She's worked with the owner, or not the owner, but the manager of the Glass Museum. And made sure that we are in compliance in terms of the agenda, in terms of security, so that somebody can let somebody in if they want to come in later. One of the things we talked about is if somebody wants to come see your meeting, do they have to be on time and do they have to stay the whole time? They do not. They could come in halfway if that's what they wanted to do. So then the question becomes, sometimes the folks who come to these meetings are not necessarily in the best condition to be attending any public meeting, right? That gets you to that question of disruption of the meeting. And if the chair finds that the person's out of order and not able to behave themselves at the meeting, that's when you do security. That really is what they're there for, and they're trained for it. And it shouldn't be anything too exciting. A lot of times if they walk up to the person and ask them, I believe they will. So, so you properly notice the meeting. You are allowed to hold the meeting outside the city. That's not any kind of a problem. You are going to provide remote access. And so I think that pretty much takes care of it. But we had to walk through those pieces, and Sally did a lot of legwork with the person at the Glass Museum to make sure that this meeting could have the ambiance that you want to be creative without disruption. Anyone who might want to.
Yeah, thank you. So it's just a reminder that it's live streamed. So I think sometimes we get in there and we think it's just us. So just being mindful of the conversations that we have that other people could be listening. And then if a random person shows up, it's because it's open to the public. We'll have a part-time staff sitting at the door. They'll text the security guard who will come down and let that person in. So
yeah, many years ago, we had someone who was quite disruptive, and it's the person who was disruptive of this body, other bodies, the history group. the city council. And so the city council decided to have their retreat in, I believe it was Ocean Shores, but it still has to be open to the public and all of that. And this guy insisted on driving the 2.5 hours, and he still couldn't participate in the meeting, but he behaved himself and he sat in a corner and he didn't bother anybody. That's all you can do with that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, well, and there are many personalities.
So we kind of live this, but you guys don't. So I just wanted it to be just a reminder.
Well, and truly, if you ever have questions or issues, let Sally know, let me know. I'm happy to come to a meeting. I'm happy to talk to you one-on-one if there's something that concerns you. If you're ever asked for public disclosure of a document, anything like that, we can work our way through it. We really appreciate the volunteers in this community. And, you know, it's funny whenever I talk to people about different cities and what they do, we are sort of known for really quality volunteers and boards and commissions, and we really value that. So to the degree that we can make your job more doable, let me know.
And fun.
And fun. Okay, yeah, I understand. Legal has to leave before the fun gets started.
Thanks, Heidi. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was helpful. Next order of new business is our 2026 work plan.
Oh, sorry, that doesn't sound so fun. But I have a handout that is the work plan, the draft work plan. So we want to have this finalized by our December meeting. And what I found out is, as you know, when we're at the Joint Commission meeting, Mayor Whalen asked about putting a sculpture in the roundabout. You know, there was a lot of legwork that was done. Earl took the lead on that. Anyways, it came back and they were said, you know, it's not on, first of all, they don't have the budget. Second of all, it's not on the work plan. So I wanted to really revisit this and make sure that we have everything that we might possibly want to do on the work plan. So I also, yeah. So I have another handout. That was the budget. Oh, the budget. It's in the PowerPoint. So what we developed before some of your the newer members came along, public art program, and we did a budget for it, and it kind of lists what we are going to focus on. So on the left-hand side, you'll see that it says signal box wraps, murals, the getting the plinth started, and then like one sculpture. And we were going to do one big sculpture maybe every 6 or 10 years. Just because they're so expensive, and we can carry over the money year to year and kind of build it up.
Right.
But we haven't done that. So this isn't completely accurate. But anyways, the signal boxes are like the low price point, about 2,600 per unit. They're on the work plan. Then we have the murals, and I don't know if we want to do a mural next year. We did one in 2023 and 25, so we want to talk about that. And then, you know, we've had a lot of talk about the plinths. I said plinths there, but do we want to include that? And do we feel like we have the time and energy to start that program, which is kind of a big deal? Or do we want to save up for a big sculpture and a roundabout, you know? So just so you know, money wise, we've got about 32,000 that will carry over from this year to next year. And then next year we'll have about 32,000. So we'll be up and around the 64,000 range by next year. Now that's still nowhere near to doing a sculpture, right? They're running, I mean, a really good sculpture is going to run 180. Yeah. So that's where we are. So if you, and then Nikki, just a note for you that we'll need to update the youth council members. So if you turn the work plan over, so the work plan, sorry, on the front page, we've got public art installations, and then in parentheses, it says murals signal box and sculptures. What does everyone think about that? Is that too much? Do we wanna? What are you feeling in your bones about art and what we want, how we want to get creative next
I
year?
think the signal boxes are really beautiful for the city.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think that's a priority.
And that's
the murals.
Fairly low cost thing
Yeah.
too that we can do.
Oh, it's the draft. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and the thing is, we were working on the student art, and that didn't happen this year, it's still rolling in. I found out that we can't pay them more than 600 a box because you have to have your business license, but there's caveats with students. Yeah, and it's our city in particular, like other cities don't have that, but, so other thoughts, for those, who are zooming in, I definitely would like your thoughts. And I don't know if we put everything in parentheses and then, or if we really want to get more focused, based just simply, we know our budget's 64,000. Do we want to be saving up for a sculpture? Do we want to try to do the plinth? Do we just want to keep it simple and stick with signal boxes?
The murals.
And murals, the
are-
thing with the mural is we need a location.
Yeah.
And
Can you add to some of the barns, we have,
I think it'd be nice if we're gonna do more murals to diversify the locations of them
Yeah,
too, and not
that's
have them
true.
all just at the park. So,
Yeah.
and I can't think of a lot of places.
I don't know if
Those
Telecom
people.
has any places or.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and if we kept kind of saving, what are our possibilities for grant funding to go towards a sculpture or some other revenue stream that we could tap into?
Yeah, that's a great question. I haven't explored that.
Okay,
I know the city of Tacoma has grants. I don't know if they give them to other municipalities.
okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if.
Yeah, because your school implemented that beautiful piece that you did.
I think what Creeds does, don't they like?
Yeah, but I don't know if they give to municipalities. I haven't looked into that. But we could.
But it could be a possibility. Maybe, yeah. Okay.
I mean, as far as the plinths go, I mean. The plinth in and of itself is gonna be an expense. So,
Right.
we would have to determine. Who's going to be manufacturing them, what the
What's the
cost
plinth?
is. A pedestal.
For the rotating art.
Yeah, like down in Olympia. They have a lot of their artwork right on the water, on those,
Yeah.
that's plinth.
Oh, okay.
Who's gonna design them, how much they're gonna cost, approving the design. Cause I imagine even something like that, maybe that even has to go before the council for that to even be approved as well.
And then we're looking to artists and then think of individual artists for essentially.
Exactly. So, I mean, if we want to explore that option, I mean, we've done a lot of research on that option, but it was also a lot of that was tabled. And we can revisit it, but it probably would take a significant chunk of the budget.
Well, I put in there 7,000 for, the plinth construction. Oh, that includes more, but we could do it in stages. I think if we could get the plinth design down and let's say we put it in the roundabout. Or one of the roundabouts. Or, at Colonial Plaza, then we've got it in, and then the next year we could be like, okay, now we could stage it.
Well, can we see if we're gonna have to get that approved by the council? The
Well,
design-
they approved this work plan,
No, I know that,
but,
the design of the plan, that's a whole different topic.
I think that would probably be done maybe at a study session.
I have no idea.
Yeah, we make recommendations, so that's not a deal breaker.
No, not at all.
But yeah,
It's just another layer.
Yeah,
That we
You
have
know,
to, that we have to think
it
about.
is a
I'm not
layer.
saying it's a deal.
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, but it's like we have to be conscientious of that if we're going to be seeking out people that want to manufacture these plants and maybe design these plants to where it'll have to be, approved by council.
Yeah.
Just in terms of public perception, we go down the path of the plinth. Plinth is installed and then it just sits there without anything on top of it,
Yeah, we can't put all the money into the plant.
Oh my
So I feel
gosh.
like we kind of,
Oh
it's
my
like,
gosh.
we need to look beyond just the plinth. I feel like I can see
Yeah.
like the Facebook chat, all of that, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
80 has a question. 80.
Yeah, I know we talked about doing like art programming throughout like and having that at the parks or at community centers around. Sorry, my dog's also barking at this moment. Is that also something that we would want to consider in this budget, or would that be a different kind of item of the budget? Would be like,
Yes, absolutely 100%. And I was going to talk about that. If we want to do like art in the park,
Yeah.
that is something that we would want to put in, it would all come out of this 64,000.
yeah. I mean, I think it would be great to have that kind of like community outreach for folks to like do art, see artists making art, kind of participating in whatever that looks like. I think it would be worth
Yeah.
a good investment on our part. Yeah.
So my idea around that was, well, my latest brainstorm is we could have different teachers come in during the farmer's market day, and for adults and for kids. And so adults would have it and then kids would have it. And we'd have teachers that specialize with those age groups. And I was in the little town of Tyatton, just outside of Yakima, and they've just created, do you know that?
I grew up in Yakima.
Okay. So they've created, it's just like an art center. It's amazing. And so I thought, how could we really support the artists more?
Yeah.
And so one was just getting art teachers to come in and the supplies. So they do art in the park. So I looked up their program and they do 1st through 8th grade.
Okay.
I think we want to do adults too, but essentially they just get teachers. The supplies are really inexpensive when it comes to art. So I think this is a really low cost thing. Now, and then if we did it during farmers market day, I'm out there anyways. We could use shelter one. And then we could have an hour for the kids. It could be, widely advertised, whoever shows up. And same with adults. So it wouldn't be a program that people paid for or even necessarily maybe signed up. We could, of course, talk about all of that, but it would just be a program that we write like every market day, every Tuesday from 12 to 1 as kids and 1 to 2 as adults. Maybe, yeah. So anyways, I was thinking that would be relatively easy to do because then you're just getting 12 teachers. Essentially, there's 12 market days and maybe the same teacher does more than one.
And then potentially, what about funding? Could some of that come out of from like sponsors for the farmers market to fund some of that? Or?
Potentially, yeah, absolutely. I do have money in the budget as well. Yes.
So are you opposed to having some kind of art activity at Colonial Plaza? Because that would be besides doing it during farmers market, which is sometimes kind of chaotic with people, doing it at Colonial Plaza would be more specified just for the arts. And I think that would draw more attention to the arts and it would be more intentional for people to come for that. And we could do like art on the Ave or something. I don't know if it's called an Avenue, but that would be kind of cool. And also, what about doing something like Tacoma does, like Wagoose? Because the Colonial Plaza would be a really good spot for that. And that would draw a lot of people because Wagoose always draws a lot of people.
What was that again?
Yeah.
What is it?
Sylvie, what was that again?
Well, Tacoma does this steamroller that Juan Latore did the art for it this year, and he etched a poster and then they roll it with a roller, with a big giant roller, and everybody comes out and they print it on paper and t-shirts and stuff like that. And it's a lot of fun, and so many people line up to participate. And it would just be like something that would draw people to Lakewood.
How do people participate?
They the city provides the shirts and or like pieces of cloth, like bags or whatever, and then they've got people out there inking the form. Daryl could probably talk to you more about it, but he's not here. And then the steamroller rolls over it. So it's kind of a novelty. It's pretty cool. But Colonial Plaza would be a good spot for that because it could be, you know, closed off and everything just for that. And it would be a really great event.
That's cool. So just a reminder, next year's our 30th anniversary. Our first event at Colonial Plaza is the last Friday in May. And it's going to kind of be the city birthday party. Anniversary party, I should say. What do you think about incorporating that?
I think that would be cool, and you could get one of the artists to do a special design for it for the anniversary.
Like, is this like a big steamroller? Like a,
Yeah.
like this big
I
thing.
know.
Like we all put it on the ground and it just goes over. Is that
Yep,
Yeah.
Okay.
Sylvia, what was the name of the festival or whatever again?
it's called Way Goose.
Way Goose?
Yeah, like with a Z.
I just envisioned?
So Way Z Goose.
Oh, okay.
I might not be saying it right, but that's what I've heard, and I've been to it.
Huh.
But I'm not an expert.
Well,
It's
we
a
don't
lot
have
of
to
fun.
decide what this is a great conversation and we can continue it. The caveat is we don't have to decide exactly what it's going to be as long as it's on the work plan. Because they seem to be holding us to the work plan, which makes sense.
So I have a suggestion maybe for the wording of it. So so for number one, if we call it public art investments and then keep the parentheses and then we add programming in there.
Oh,
I like the parentheses because that leaves it open-ended for us and we're investing in these things. And whatever, you know, version of that is, because obviously investing in programming is different than investing in a piece of actual art. But it gives us flexibility then with the budget and where we think we could or couldn't do murals or can or can't do plinths based on what's going on with public works and.
Yeah, that keeps it quite broad.
That's just an idea.
Murals, signal boxes. And then what about, do we want to throw plinths in there and then?
I think that's under sculptures.
Okay.
I do. Murals are big, signal boxes are what they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
Sculptures is kind of open-ended, programming is open-ended.
Perfect.
Murals can be open-ended too, really.
Okay. Great. Okay. Anything else on that, Sylvie? I think that's a great idea.
Sorry, no, I was trying to show you a picture of what they did.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I think that'd be a really fun way because I know the city's also putting aside money for swag and it could be just blank t-shirts and right and
Be a big draw for the.
yeah.
Would be a big draw.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can share my screen or not.
Nikki should be able to like.
Nikki can do anything.
Should I send it to
Go
you?
ahead, should be able to.
Ta-da. Let's see. I don't see it, Nikki.
Should be down at the bottom, the big share button.
Oh, that one. Yeah, sure. So that's the one that he designed for Wagyu.
And so they turn that into, they put it on t-shirts and what
And
else?
posters and
Okay.
yeah. So it was pretty cool.
Where does the steamroller come into play?
Well, you know how you need something to imprint on. It's like a big stamp. And so the steamroller is the pressure that goes this poster was like a big rubber stamp, and then they ink it, and then they put the paper down, and the steamroller puts the pressure on it to transfer the ink onto the paper or to the t-shirt.
Mm.
It's quite novel. It's really cool. It's fun.
And we're good to copy that.
Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's screen printing.
Screen printing,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's really interesting. I like that.
I love it. I love these new ideas, I think. I think especially with our 30th anniversary and the 250th anniversary of America, that birthday of America.
If you know the print experience, there's a Tacoma Library. They have a print workshop there, so for free. So you can register and then you can experience it for printing experience there. So
Thanks, Colin.
yeah.
Okay.
I think Katie has had her hand up for a while.
Katie.
Hello. Yeah, sorry. This is a great conversation, Sylvie. I was thinking, I think Right 253 is one of the nonprofit organizations that helps organize Wagus. And which made me think, kind of thinking about this, and maybe not for this budget, but maybe thinking into the future. I wonder if we would want to think about doing kind of like a art, maybe something similar to a grant, like an incubating grant for a nonprofit or an artist that could result in something like, that could culminate in something like a t-shirt for the city for that year, or, swag for something, for the farmer's market or something. And so we would have this way of investing money into the local artist community, that could then result in art being made or programming happening. And so we could kind of solicit local artists to do some of that work. I think it's I think Wagus is this like kind of underground, kind of grassroots art movement that has led to this really fun event. Is there a way for us to create that in Lakewood as well by kind of putting money into to the people who live here, the artists who are working here, to doing that work too? Could be something to
Okay,
consider.
so I love this conversation. So this was my other brainstorm, I think, when I couldn't fall asleep. And that is, well, when I got back from Tieton, I was like, okay, they're really investing in artists. How can we invest in artists more? And so I thought of the Fiesta, and I Googled, anyways, there's 15 spirit animals affiliated with the Day of the Dead. It's like the owl, the hummingbird, the bear, the hairless dog. And I was like, what if we just pay an artist $1,000 each, essentially, and each one does a spirit animal, and then we have the procession of spirit animals at the Fiesta. And one of them is the monarch butterfly, and that's like more like can be. I reached out to Joseph at the Playhouse to connect with his designer, because those can be wings, like you just tie them on the wrist and you tie them around here. This was a Tieton thing too. And then you just kind of flap and the wings go out. And you could make 50 of those, I think, for next to nothing. And then also we could invite the public to be in the procession as butterflies, like the first 50 children that come can be a butterfly. And we could just have that as part of the Fiesta.
That's a good idea.
That would be fun.
Okay, so how does this relate back to the work program?
Well, that's an investment.
It's an investment.
That's an
So, it's kind of like supporting local artists. Well, I guess that's what.
I just have a question about the idea. Sorry, my dog's barking. Idea you just presented. would we expect the artists to have connect like cultural connections to Day of the Dead to create this art? I'm thinking of like cultural appropriation issues potentially with something like this.
That's a good thought. Well, the artists that first started this event with me it was the Latino Artists Association. So I would reach out to them first because they are connected culturally. Yeah, that's a really good point. Like I did
Yeah.
call a few just to pick their brain. So I called Juan, who's in this photo, just to see what he thought. And he's like, "Oh, I've got a giant bear and a panda."
Yeah.
So yeah. But I was just thinking there are a lot of ways we can support local artists and then tie it into our events where a lot of people see their work.
For sure.
Right. So public art investments and in parentheses, mural signal boxes, sculptures and programs. Does that encapsulate, Edie, what you were saying, or do we need to add something else?
No, I think that'd be great. I think it'd be interesting to see kind of, yeah, like it sounds a little bit like commissioning artists to create art for something. I think, which I think is great. I think I was also envisioning the potential for something more open-ended that would be like an open call to see, like for kind of, I don't know, for the artists that may be working in their community that we're not aware of, that they could, submit basically a grant proposal first. It doesn't have to be a significant amount of money. And part of that would be maybe they tell us how they want to share their work. But maybe that's like years from now after we've kind of worked out kind of this stage as well.
I feel like this group is capable of doing whatever they want as fast as they want, So I think that's worth exploring if people are interested in it. That would take us off in a little different direction potentially, but could potentially be really amazing. And I like that idea because then you're really, really collaborating with them, and they're obviously thinking outside the box, right? We're kind of stuck in our work program. So, okay, well, let's keep the discussion going. So we have the quarterly artists displays and art receptions. I think we all want to continue that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Continue education, that's when we bring speakers in. Our retreat, special events. I kept that more general to special events because that seems to change and evolve where and when we pull in artists. But I'd really like to pull artists in pay them to create really eccentric, cool things for our events more and more. So that leaves it a little more open-ended. And then just recruitment and retention. So how does that sound?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think
Good.
that captures it.
Okay. And AD, we won't lose sight of what you talked about. I think we might need a little subcommittee on that if we pursue that.
I think that's like there, or give you a grant money, certain stipulations and a lot of
Exactly.
details of that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Please call us.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Okay, moving on to the retreat. You have the retreat agenda. And it's just so you know, for the retreat, so it's this Friday. And it starts at 4:30. So this says 4:30. Oh, that needs to be changed. And so I'll just go through the agenda. You don't need to bring anything but yourself. 4:30 to 5 o'clock, the museum's open and the hot shop is open. We all just go there, meet there and watch, okay? And then we come down and we come to the education room and we actually will Emily will call the meeting to order. Like it is technically a meeting. And then we get to do the glass fusing workshop, which will be so fun. And then we'll have dinner. Lua, Asia Pacific Cultural Center, and I are providing the food. And crumble cookie. And then we needed something on the agenda to make it a meeting, so I've got the work plan on there. So we can kind of just talk about creative ideas, okay? And then we have the exhibit tour. Susan's gonna give us a private tour, and then yeah, I think you have to pay for parking there from what I remember. Okay, any questions on the retreat? Okay.
And we just check in at the front?
You just go straight to the hot shop.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll all meet there. Okay.
Subcommittee reports for public art updates for the capital improvements at Lloyd's Lake Park.
Yeah, so as you know, we our group here selected the artists, and so Kenji Stoll was selected for the Portland Lou. He talked about the 11 different species of birds that would be in his painting, and then he sent the final one, so he's finished. And I'm so pleased with the colors, and it's done and it's ready to be wrapped. We're just waiting for the weather.
Right.
Yeah.
So it could be done this year. We might have to wait till next year, but
Nice.
it's ready to go. So that feels really good. There's another photo. That's just a close up.
Can we see it?
Is it not showing on screen? It should be showing.
Can you guys see it?
I did see it, but now we're on the.
I'm resharing it. 1 second.
I see the spreadsheet on there now.
So this came out of Stacy's capital budget, so that's another bonus. You know, we got the fun of selecting the artists and everything, but and then Kenji Stoll we selected, if you'll remember, to do the signal boxes. There's 7 signal boxes all, clustered there. And then he didn't have a business license.
Oh.
And
Oh, no.
we did not know that until 2 weeks ago. So we lost a lot of time. But the good news is Lori Davenport was our number 2.
Yeah.
She did the signal boxes across from the library. We asked her to do it. And so she's so excited. She did the walkthrough, and she'll probably have her designs done, maybe even by our next meeting. So I can show you.
And those are gonna be the little utility boxes, a cluster of them.
Right. There's 5 on one side and then 2 on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So that'll be great. Yeah. And then in terms,
So is this guy gonna get his business license? Because
Should be
this is
easy.
great.
no, he will not actually. And I don't know. He's working with the city of Bellevue and all these other municipalities supposedly.
Why
But
are we
he
requiring?
chose, it's a city policy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm surprised all the other artists had. I mean,
yeah.
he's been using the art museum. That's a huge exhibit at the art museum.
I know.
That's surprising for me.
Yeah. And it doesn't cost that much
It's not,
to
yeah.
re-up. He had one at one point and then he let it go and,
It doesn't cost anything. Anyway, that's not my issue.
No, no.
yeah,
Maybe
Yeah.
there's another reason why he doesn't want to do
but
that.
maybe he'll circle back now that we know his work, because it's really phenomenal.
Oh, look how nice.
Yeah, so,
Next one, the design of the city coin.
yeah, so we looked at the city coin, last time. And then I reached out to DJ at Tacoma Trophy and asked him to, create a design with the oak leaf and commemorating the 30th anniversary. And so these are the two designs he gave. I personally, so I wanted to show you. And then the next two slides is I found some images online that I resent and asked for some more designs to present to you. So, and then you can go back to the first one. So I just wanted your feedback. I said, just hold off until after our meeting and I'll give you the feedback from everyone. So what is your feedback on these?
I feel like it could be a little bit more organic, have a little bit more movement. This feels a little bit just like clip art to me. A little bit.
I feel like it's a Boy Scout thing.
That is what I
Right?
thought.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I'm getting Boy Scout.
Oh
vibes.
gosh,
Yeah.
that was
Like a patch.
I can see the vision, but it was definitely underwhelming.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just maybe the scale of the leaves to the acorn or it just is a little, I don't know, cartoony or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Does it say Lakewood on the other side?
So the other side, we don't have to, but we were gonna leave exactly the same as the last year's coin, which was just, it said City of Lakewood, Washington, 1996, and then it was the logo. Now Stacy, my colleague, mentioned putting 1996 to 2026. So, for the 30th. And then on the back, I selected that wording because that wording is in our legacy plan. It's all over, on the website that we are a healthy, vibrant community. We don't have to keep that wording. I didn't particularly like the star. But you remember the back of the other city coin, it was just gold or bronze and it was etched. So that's how I thought, if you go down to the next designs that I just found on the web, but if you were to etch like the ones on the left into that, I think then you can get more of that organic look.
For sure. Yeah.
And that of course doesn't have the acorn, which it doesn't need. I just had mentioned an acorn because I was like, oh, they have acorns.
Right.
And I thought, oh, we could put 30 acorns around the outside, but that's too many.
Yeah.
But we can just leave it out altogether too. I think it's just,
How quick does it need to be done?
well, it needs to be done. I'd like it done and produced by December 15th, and we'll print probably 2,500 of them. That's what they did last year. And it was about $1,500, and that doesn't come out of our budget. But yeah, because I leave December 15th and the anniversary is February
She's leaving on vacation.
for a long, long time, okay? A long time. So
Takes a while to get to the moon.
Mexico, you're all welcome to this. So
Can we
anyways,
see
yes.
can we see the design that they came up with again?
I happen to like the one on the right because of the simplicity. We put a mural recently into the Lakewood History Museum and we used the acorns as a continuing theme. Now, I know it may have a Boy Scout look to it, but it's kind of, it's simplistic. And the 30 and I like the darker colors. Just me.
The three oak.
I think the dark is like he's trying to indicate the level,
Yeah.
the etching.
So
It's not a
it's
color
raised.
difference.
Yeah, the second one has a raised.
It's a little wet.
It's raised, so you
Yeah.
can see above is raised.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I like the 30 with the dark background. Just me. And the simplicity of it.
I'd be curious to see with the two leaves, like you had in that other one. And if people are liking the acorn, like the acorn in the middle,
Okay.
that doesn't make sense.
So
It makes sense to me.
it does look kind of static with the leaves. It isn't very organic. It's very
Mhm.
intentional. Did we talk about getting an artist to create something instead of a trophy shop?
I didn't know how that worked, I don't know how easy that is I just don't know anything about that, how an artist does that and then how it's translated over to the coin, especially if it's etched. I don't know.
I know that the people that did the coins for the video for the movie thing, and I worked with them and I approached and they were all for it, and they took a design that actually that I did and then they made it into coins, and they were really great about it. So I'm pretty sure that the trophy shop can do the same thing. It's just whatever artwork you come up with, they can do it, and maybe we can get something that's a little bit more organic, and also the type on it is that because I remember when Bryn was really adamant about
I
it
like
being a the branding type, and that doesn't look like your branding type font.
Okay. It's not the new font. It's not the Montserrat.
Yeah, Montserrat.
Does it match the front of the old coin? Is that why that font is like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so I don't, was that must have been before Bryn implemented all of that. It was, yeah. So what's the next step then? Do we find an artist or do we?
Short of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you okay if I talk to a couple people?
I'm good with that. Does anyone else? Is everyone good with that?
Yeah, for sure.
What were you gonna say, Phil?
We short of time. You said you wanted it done by December.
That should, well, I'll ask him what the time frame is. And yeah, Sylvie knows, the timeline, so we will see how long that it takes the artist to do that.
And whether or not there's a cost involved too. For the
I think
artist.
as long as we have the design by December 14th. I mean, someone from the city communications can get it printed and made up while I'm gone. I think just as long as we have the design. So that timing should be fine.
Okay.
And then if you want, I can send you these over. You can just tell them we're interested in the oak leaf.
Okay.
The Geary oak. The Geary oak.
I'm taking a screenshot of it. Okay.
Okay. So thank you. You can circle back on that. All right.
signal box updates. Here's college students and the Wasille students. The listing are on Silicon Boulevard and Pacific Ave.
Okay, Kellis was amazing. She had her students submit art and some Pierce College students submitted their art. Thank you, Kellis. And then I am woefully behind. I have so many emails from students and I need to get them all in a PowerPoint. And I need to get them all in a spreadsheet and I have not done it. I just haven't had time. So my goal is to have it by the December 1st. The reality is the weather is too wet to wrap boxes right now.
Yeah.
So I'm really sorry, and I will have that PowerPoint December 1st. Or December 3rd, when our next meeting is.
I'm excited.
December 1st. Yeah. So, Kellis, did you want to add anything to that? I don't know if you had a chance to look at the artwork or for the signal boxes that your students submitted.
They try their best and then I collect them about like 70, 80 of them, right? So I hope you guys pick maybe even one of them to pick that, or maybe 3 of them, 5 of them, and then I'll be appreciated and they'll be really happy to see when they're driving and then pass by Lakewood, because Lakewood City is our, friend, our neighbors. They always go to Lakewood City all the time. So yeah, so I can requesting more adding into it if you need it, because we have a tons of artwork, as you see, like tons of art. So yeah, so let me know if you need more.
Okay, thank you.
Will the
All right.
students need a business license or that's
No.
different because they're a student?
They don't, and I've got to find out the age limit.
Wasn't it a threshold of how much?
But I have a business license.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll work. I don't know.
That's true. We could pay you and then you could give the money to the students. We could. But anyways, we can pay up to $600 for a student,
Okay.
per student. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Art in the Park, summer of 2026.
Yeah, so we talked about that already, so.
All right, so last unordered, unfinished business is our rotating art update for 2025. Which we did not have we did not need to do the recap because we did not have the show on October 20th. But the next reception, the MLK Beloved Community Art Reception, that's been moved from February 2nd to March 2nd. And we have 12 artists confirmed.
Yay.
Yeah, so Dave called the art teacher from Pierce College and he just didn't have enough students. And so we decided we'd table it, which is great. It's fine, actually. So I contacted all of the African-American artists for the first quarter art show and asked them if they could bring their artwork starting November 10th. And I need to be the one to put it up because we have all these artists and I have to figure out what to hang where. If anyone's good at that and wants to help me, I would love that help because this is not my bailiwick. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 13 artists. And they are bringing in like 3 or 4 pieces, signing a waiver. They'll have a wire backing. And so it'll be up for the December 6th parade. When everyone's here, the walls will be covered. So that'll be really nice. And then it'll just be ready to go January 1, you know, because then the holidays come.
Yeah.
So they will be, so that artwork is rolling in. And I've just met some amazing artists. I'm really pleased.
What time are they bringing stuff in on Monday?
So it's just rolling in.
Oh,
They're
okay.
bringing it in on a rolling basis, but I asked them all to have it by November.
Got it.
So then anytime after that,
Got it.
you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you. Our next meeting, well, we have our retreat and then our next meeting is December 1st.
Hey, I just have a quick little announcement. So I'm always considered to myself, the reluctant artist, but I submitted to Marybridge Children's Hospital, put a call out to artists for stuff for their new hospital. And so I worked at the old hospital for almost 25 years and then retired. So it was kind of a dream to be part of the new one. And I had 5 photographs that were accepted.
Yeah.
Be part of the new hospital as a retired nurse who worked there for so long.
What are the photos of?
So one is sea otter with the baby on its chest in the water. So that'll be one, and then 4 hummingbird photos. So every floor will have a different theme, like sea and forest and stuff. Very cool.
Congratulations. That's exciting.
That's awesome, Laura. Congrats.
Thanks.
But one more note on a little more serious vein. This coming Tuesday is Veterans Day, November 11th, and it dates back to 1918 and World War I. But the museum is showing a film directed and edited by Peter Jackson, who did Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. There was the film that was shot back in 1918. However, he took it to his private studios and remastered it, colorized it, because he said people saw it in color. They didn't see it black and white. You would swear this film was made last week. The acting and everything, but there are no actors. These are real people from 1918. And if you want to see a piece of history of real people in a real event in a real time, it'll be at 2:30 Tuesday for Veterans Day at the museum. Free.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's powerful. It's rated R. So powerful in terms of rated R for violence.
Yeah.
1918 rated R.
That's yeah. But he did absolutely an amazing job of bringing. And the name of the film is "They Shall Not Grow Old," because he's brought them all back to life.
Oh, that's cool. Amazing. Thanks, Phil. We have the coolest group. Okay, everyone, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Meeting
Yes.
Thank you.
We'll see you on Friday.
Thank you. Yeah.